So hello, welcome to episode 11 of So Long Too Long. We survived into double figures, so thanks for joining us. As we pointed out last episode, we're recording episode 10 and 11 together, so in the in-between period, the interim period between these episodes, hopefully you've all actually heard the song So Long Too Long if you subscribe to our Patreon. Hopefully you've all sent us gushing rave reviews about the track, and hopefully you're all, pitching us for Glastonbury.
Yes, please.
So we are recording this with the other episode, but that means we are still drinking.
It's thirsty work.
It is very
thirsty work.
What quenches your thirst, Rowie?
Nothing but anything brewed by Carnival Brewery. Obviously. And this Carmen's going down pretty well. Yeah. How's yours, Steve?
I find living in the desert, all the sand in my mouth, I really need something just to quench that thirst, from the heat of the desert, and nothing does it just quite like the Carmen. So thank you, Carnival.
Thank you. I mean, I actually went in and bought this, so they haven't given us it, but...
Is it from the heart of Liverpool?
Funny you should say that, Steve. It is from the heart of Liverpool. Carmen, from the heart of Liverpool to the Middle Eastern desert.
If I'm feeling peckish for any vegetarian Indian street food, you can pop into your nearest Bundo bust, and Carnival Brewery have plenty of selection of fine pale ales that you can choose from.
So that's our trial run, basically saying to Carnival, come on, sponsor us. So I think that went well. So if everyone listening to this can contact Carnival and let them know that you've been inspired to go buy some, that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Just in time for Christmas. So
yeah, for us.
Yeah. So given that we've recorded these episodes together, how are you doing, lads? We're still okay?
Still all right, yeah. Still, yeah.
By now, we might have had the classic Deal or No Deal episode that I've been waiting for.
And you'll hear about that. You will hear about it.
Yeah,
definitely.
We'll shout about it, yeah.
I think we should reach out to Mullane. Do you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
Or his people. Like you say, we've still got that exclusive coming up.
Oh, yeah. No, that exclusive might lead to something.
Yeah, should do.
Yeah. Okay, right. You heard it here first. We're going to get Stephen Mulhill I can't even say his name. Stephen Mulhern to endorse Carnival. There's our Deal or No Deal, Rowie?
Deal.
Here's episode 11. This is So Long Too Long, a true-to-life recounting of a band that, despite their very best efforts, seemed destined to break into the big time if they could only overcome one hurdle, themselves. If they weren't quite four lads who shook the world, they certainly gave their postcodes a tremble. Writing these episodes, discussing them with my former bandmates, and then sending them out into the wild has been a strange process that has brought up a lot for me, more than I'd have anticipated. In many ways, it's been a bit like going to therapy, revisiting a time and a place that I've neglected for a long time, and shining a light on many events and people that I had, in all honesty, not thought about for years. Now, without wanting to jump ahead and give any spoilers about the eventualities of the Albany, one of the other things that has caught me a bit off guard is the way we've been perceived in retrospect, our legacy for want of a better word. There will be much more to talk about in future episodes about memorable, if somewhat infamous, successes and failures, of which there were significantly more of the latter, and how they are remembered. But what has been surreal and somewhat exposing is the way people are talking about our reputation at the time and the things that have stuck with them. One comment on Instagram made me howl with laughter and made me wonder about the things people remember about you, and it was a question posed after episode 7 in which we detailed our first proper gig. The message read, "The Albany. Were you the band that had a tree stump on stage, or am I getting mixed up?" A tree stump on stage? Yeah, of course that was us. One evening, or more likely one early morning, after a session in the Albany, on our walk home down Derby Lane, we spotted a huge pile of chopped wood in someone's front yard. A tree had clearly been felled and diced into more manageable chunks. The opportunists and drunkards in us saw this as a sign from above, and without having much of a plan, we leaned over the wall and helped ourselves to a log each. What larks. By the time we'd reached Steve's, whose house was first on our route home, the novelty had worn off and we dumped all of them in his wheelie bin, as was our custom. Poor Steve's dad was always treated to an assortment of found gifts in his bin of a morning. Bar one, which Steve decided to take up to Bucko's bar, his loft where we did much of our drinking and practising. Come our next practice, this log was still hanging around, and so we decided to decorate it with our names, a shoddy logo, and a drawing of a cartoon character I called Ned. We'd frequently start our practice sessions with often aimless jams just to warm up. One that Steve used to open up with was a drum-only clang and boom number that featured him wailing, purposely out of tune, why, fisherman, why. Another was us trying to recreate the sound of a chugging train with the ominous refrain of, get on the train, feel no pain, get off the tracks, don't look back. Utterly daft stuff that I'm sure most bands engage in between bouts of sheer inspiration. One we'd also jam was a hypnotic, nightmarish jam that Rowie sang, Charlie's having a bad dream, Charlie's having a bad dream, let him lie. Who Charlie was, we don't know, but it warmed us up sufficiently until the Vibo pills reached our nervous systems. Anyway, we christened this log Charlie in honour of this tune, and immediately Charlie was part of our entourage. We scribbled a single lyric on the reverse side of the log and decided that Charlie was now part of our live setup. The fact that we prioritised this over getting actual amps or something that meant Steve didn't have to carry his drums in bin bags likely tells you a lot about our mentality at this time. So it was that when it came to packing up and loading our gear for gigs, we always made sure that Charlie, the chopped log, was in amongst our guitars and leads. We would take him on stage and place him down strategically as if he were an instrument, but crucially never referred to him. We offered no explanation for him being there, in truth we didn't have one, and we would pack him away once we were done. Absolutely astonishingly, last Christmas Steve was home and clearing out his old room, the now vacant Bucko's bar, and he discovered a treasure trove of old Albany paraphernalia, including, yes, Charlie. Still looking as beleaguered as the day we found him, he'd been waiting patiently for us to return, no doubt having a sleep, and hopefully no bad dreams. Charlie's having a bad dream, let him lie. Where did that come from? Was there a Charlie that in mind?
No. I don't, is there any famous Dimmock? Charlie Dimmock? I don't know.
Yeah, serenading Charlie Dimmock.
Or Charlie Chalk.
Oh, remember Charlie? Yeah.
He looked a bit like your Ned.
He did actually, didn't he? Yeah.
Might have been that Charlie then.
Oh yeah, maybe it was. Yeah.
So obviously.
Yeah. So on this piece of log, we I'll have to look because we've still got a picture of Charlie that we'll stick up on the socials. Am I right in thinking we didn't just write our names? We actually autographed it.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like, was it like a Blood Brothers type of thing where it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You're signing that, you're committing to it.
You're in, you're in, yeah. So like, there's mates who are hanging around that time, but their name isn't on Charlie, so they wouldn't have been in the inner circle.
Yeah.
Naturally, Bob's name's on it. But like, you know, as much as we love them, people like Cody and McVeigh, their names aren't on it. No. You know, we're mates, but, you know, you're not in the inner circle. So there was something about Charlie being like a rite of passage. If your name was on it, you were in.
Yeah, I've still got the Evan. I've still got Charlie.
That blows me at that. I felt quite emotional when you told me you had it.
Yeah, and he's quite light now. He's lost a bit of weight with the age. Bit of a fire hazard.
Any sparks around him, that timber's going up. Bucko's bar's going up in flames, like Taps Tavern.
I just remember the next morning, and I always left something in my dad's wheelie.
Poor dad.
Like, I know. And like that morning, he had half a fucking tree. And he's like, "What the fucking hell? Where did you get all this from?"
Probably in the pub.
And I couldn't remember.
We had no grand plan in state. We just saw it and thought something funny will happen with this.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, with the fortnightly collections, because if I was your dad, I'd be pissed off really. Half a tree in my bin.
Well, the thing is as well, someone robbed the fucking wheels off our wheels. You remember? So that's a good track.
Maybe we could have like Flintstoned it and used the chopped fucking tree to be the wheels.
What I love about the whole thing with Charlie is that it wasn't just like a one-off. Oh right, yeah, we did. Like it became part of our mentality. You know, you're part of the live show now. Guitars, yep. Got your bag. Got your drums in bin bags. Yeah, we've got Charlie. Yeah.
Is there any space in that bin bag?
Yeah. That type of
Get
thing.
Charlie in it.
I can recall loading up Steve's dad's van when he was taken to us a gig one time and passing up Charlie as a precious goods. Watch out for him. It was amazing. Yeah,
I do remember that, yeah. And the look of, why the fuck are you taking this?
Oh, we never gave any explanation though. We just it's what we do. It was as kind of simple as setting up a guitar amp. You know, you put Charlie on stage, and I just love the fact that someone got in touch to say, "Was that you with a part of a tree on stage?" It's like, yes.
I don't know what we were going for. Like, we had our props, like the banner in the background. You had your Rasta flag,
Christ.
and like you say, like Charlie, we just brought him out and placed him on stage. But there's no point like having to explain it, because if you don't get it, man, you're never gonna get it.
At the time, I've spoken about it in the past. British Sea Power, they probably are my favourite band of all time, but they used to decorate the stage with trees. Like if they were playing in Manford Hall, for instance, they'd go out in the day and chop down bits of a tree and they'd stick it on the amps, and it was very much part of their aesthetic.
You endorse that behaviour.
But it was part of their aesthetic and part of the image they were going for, and fitted in with the songs and the whole world that British Sea Power were building around them at that time. Now, we were not doing that. It's easy for us to now look back and go, we were creating, it would be dead easy for us to go, we were creating this mystery around us, this world around us. It just made us laugh, didn't it?
Yes. There's no explanation, is there really? No. It's a fucking chopped off tree trunk with our names on it.
Yeah.
And it had the Albany written on it as well.
The Albany, yeah. I tried. It was a crap logo. I tried to make it look like a street sign. And on the background, on the back of it, you'd written "Charlie's having a bad dream." It makes no sense, and I just love it. I love it for that reason. We're not trying to shock. We're not trying to confuse. It was just a laugh. Just what we do.
Yeah, it is right.
I think there was a knob on there as well.
Oh, I hope not. What's that?
Just a little.
Very crude drawn.
But the fact people remember it's brilliant. But we've said it about Columbo, the Columbo logo as well. Bands would kill for to be remembered in nearly 20 years for something they did, something artistic, some statement they made. And we're getting people now remembering, were you the Columbo band? Were you the tree stump band? I'm going, yeah, and we put zero effort into it.
But like I've said it to you in the past, like, but like when you go out to town and there'll be a band on whatever, obviously like you can't help but listen, or because it's just on in the background, or if you go to a gig, or especially like a local gig, you'll have like local support and it'll just be like a band on and it's just background noise in it really. But if 3-4 kids got on stage and without any explanation, well, you'd look at the Rasta flag and go, knobheads. You'd see this banner behind them and go, they're trying. But then if I see like them just carry like this off-cut stump and put it down, I'd be so into it. I'd stop it, whatever I was doing. I'd stop talking to whoever I was with. I'm listening to these now. Yeah. Because something's about to happen. It might be shite, but it's going to be interesting. And hopefully...
It was always interesting.
Yeah, that's what hopefully, like... there was no agenda to do it, was there?
No.
Yes, and hopefully there was people there to see us do it anyway.
But we wouldn't even have set lists on stage. It'd just I'd be telling you before it's cream pie next, or it's that one stay that starts like Timeless Melody. We didn't even, our prep was non-existent, but we just knew, no, we've got to have this tree stump on stage along with me fucking Rasta flag and this footy banner with scribble all over it. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
We carried as much shite with us and compared to like the stuff that we actually needed. We could have got the bus in with the gear that we needed. But instead we had to like get your half hour or fucking get 2 cabs just for all the shite that we had to ferry into town. So they were never like local gigs to where we lived. They were all in town.
They weren't walkable. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Could have walked in with a guitar on my back, but no, we had to.
And when you play gigs like in town, like, but I don't know whether it still happens now, but like, you'd leave the gear there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No chance I'm leaving Charlie there.
Oh, no.
So I'm having to ferry it back home just to come back into...
Well, no one will nick our gear. that fucking log, you might go off and take it.
You need to take 3 cabs before you can have a night out. You got to take Charlie the gig, take Charlie home and get back into town yourself.
We would, because we were often the supporter.
Well, asking Bob for money.
We were, because we were often, in the early days, you're the first band on, so we'd do our set about 8 till 8:30, and we'd take a taxi back. And in retrospect, it was because we didn't want Charlie to get nicked, a fucking tree stump, and then we get a taxi back into town. That's wild.
Safeguarding and just looking after him.
I feel quite emotional that he's still with us.
Yeah, like you're saying, he looks frail. I don't know whether I want to see him anymore. I just want to keep the
Remember him as he was.
Yeah, as he was. Yeah, I think I would get upset. Yeah.
He's lost a lot of weight, as Charlie.
Aww.
You'd need like them the white gloves, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
if you were going to handle him.
Yeah.
If you got like the FA Cup or something.
Yeah, we need some Len Ganley snooker referee gloves, don't we, to handle him. But it feels like a connection to the past, that. And I'm not sentimental. I'm not one for like holding on to things. But seeing that picture, I was looking at it the other day when I was writing this episode, and looking, I was like, man, seeing our scribbles on, I think, that's nice. That is nice. So it's right, Charlie.
I know what I could toast the Carnival Brewery to Charlie.
I'm fairly certain I've still got the football flag somewhere, and some other shite that will probably. I've got a feeling there's got to be a can of Viborg.
Oh, that's the dream. That is.
Well, maybe we should do like a little Valhalla for it, and we'll set up. We'll get like a little raft, and we'll go down to Otterspool, and we'll throw it out onto the Mersey.
Charlie.
Yeah, just fucking burn it all, and then it can just go to the higher place. Because like we don't want to see it just fucking perish, do we?
No.
I was thinking of getting those American pickers in. The ones that go around and go, try and find this shit with me. And they'd find all kinds, Like, even by the...
I don't want to think.
The log, there was one of my autographed pictures with a big dick on it with Frank Button. I was like...
An autographed picture of yourself?
That's impressing him.
Yeah. That was impressed. American pickers would be made up of that.
Some DIY bongs.
Yeah, undeniably. Maybe an empty Labatt Ice bottle. Wow. If if we ever do a live show or anything of this podcast, like a lot of us do, if we haven't set fire to him to send him Valhalla, Charlie's got a feature.
You get an autograph with Charlie, a photo with Charlie.
I'm happy to set up a stand. I'll do autographs. Time to go. I'll take check.
Oh man. So well, next time you're back, Steve, in a few weeks, you're back on our shows, aren't you? Maybe we can go pay Charlie a visit, pay our respects.
Yeah.
He's not dead, Matty.
He's a bit unwell. Do you know what? Maybe if we just threw a load of ale on him. Yeah.
In the name of Viborg. One other thing that a number of people have been remembering us for is bizarrely something we didn't actually do. Infamy, they've all got it in for us. New Year's Eve 2005 was a memorable one. Seeing out our first year as a band, we gathered in, naturally enough, the Albany, and without any real plans weighed up our options for the evening. As much as we loved the pub, we didn't fancy spending the whole night there, and so contemplated essentially crashing a party that we'd been made aware of on MySpace. People Rowie knew, most of them part of the aforementioned emo scene, had been posting all week about a house party that was taking place in someone's gaff while their parents were away. With few other options, we plumped for this one and hailed a taxi to leafy Mossley Hill, an upper middle class area that may as well have been another planet compared to our grotty corner of L13. Much has been made of what happened next, and many a false accusation, dare I say slander, has been thrown our way, but there are two things I will hold my hands up to. The first thing is that going to the party, we were woefully underprepared. We didn't think to stock up on booze en route, and on arriving at the house, quickly raided any stock we could find. Not a very sound thing to do, but ever thirsty, we did what we had to do. I'll come to the second thing I will admit to in a minute, as what happened next is a bit of a blur. As I've said in other episodes, part of what we didn't get about the Liverpool emo scene is that lots of young Merseysiders were aspiring so hard to be characters in a crappy coming-of-age American high school film, despite coming from Litherland. In the case of this party, however, things quickly did descend into a stereotypical depiction of a house party gone wrong from an American movie. I still don't even know whose house it was, and the fact that we got word of the party via social media highlights the problem for the poor sods who own the house. All we knew is that it was a free house and there were no adults. So, it seemed at half of Liverpool, and many a gatecrasher, like us, descended upon the house and quickly caused havoc. Snapshots of images pop into my head when I think about this night. Spray paint on the walls, photos and graduation certificates torn from their frames and wrecked, smashed light bulbs, drink cabinets emptied, and so on. At one point, we ended up in what was clearly a younger sibling's bedroom. There was a cheap nylon acoustic guitar in there, so naturally we had only one thing on our mind: serenading the masses. Unlikely any girl that hung around long enough to be within earshot. I have a vivid memory of Rowie having taken too much drink, sat on the floor, resting his head against the bedpost, raising himself and shouting, "This is the best fucking song in the world, I need everyone to hear it," before grabbing the guitar, trying to play So Long Too Long, failing, slumping and promptly spewing all over the bedroom floor. Not that any of us others were faring much better at the time, it must be said. Chaos was fast spreading, and I can't recall why, but we decided enough was enough. I don't know whether the police or some other responsible adults were called, or whether the ale had simply ran dry and we knew of another place to go, but either way, we jumped another taxi and made our way to a different party way across town and thought little of the madness we'd left behind. The next day, however, we received, on both the band and our personal MySpace accounts, a barrage of messages demanding we return a handheld PlayStation that was taken from the house. This baffled us, as we hadn't touched it, let alone taken it with us. What would we want with one of them? If it didn't have 6 strings or hold ale, we weren't bothered. Why on earth would we stoop to such petty thievery? Stig, as Frank Button, in particular, took a lot of this flack, and even now as we post these episodes, we still have been getting messages reminding of the night we became thieves and stole goods from a house party. Not us, Your Honour, it's a stitch-up. I did say there was one other thing I will admit to. In the taxi on the way to the next party, I heard a sudden whoop, and I felt a strange sensation on the side of my cheek, as if I was being sucked into something. Startled, I turned to look at Bob, who was revealing the one thing that did come with us. "The fuck's that, Bob?" "A dustbuster," he offered, without explanation or justification. A handheld hoover sucking away the dust of 2005 and leaving the path for 2006 clean and ready to explore. Yeah, lock us up and throw away the key. Quite the way to see out 2005. For a while, I honestly thought we were in danger of getting this reputation as absolute scumbags, because I don't. How did word get spread round that? Was it aimed at you specifically, Steve, or Frank Button, about nicking the handheld? Was it a PSP?
I got a message the next day from this girl I didn't know. We didn't even know it was her house. Gaff. So I'm like, "Who the hell's this?" And started reading it, and then there was a list of items, and you were like, it's being said by a lot of people. Yeah, a list.
Yeah. An itinerary.
This party that you nicked all this year, and I was like, and it was like PlayStation 2, which was, pretty good at the time. One of those Nokia phones that was like a little gaming phone. There's loads of shit, and I was like, hang on a minute, I robbed all of that. Like, I barely walk.
You with your bin bags.
Yeah, me bin bags. But so it was strange, because all I came home with was some kid's rugby trophy.
Oh Jesus! This
Shameful.
Shows how middle class the house was. Which I admitted to. I said, I woke up with like a medal and a kid's trophy, so like I'm happy to bring them back.
Best piss head.
The PlayStation 2 and the Nokia phone and that. Like,
no, I feel like 18 years later or whatever it is, we finally got our platform to go on record and say that was not us.
No, definitely wasn't. But I have played on said PlayStation. I didn't steal it.
Really?
Yeah. And you have too. You have too, Steve.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Can we say this?
I can always bleep it out.
It was in. You're gonna have to bleep it out. It was in rehearsal room. Remember we either sat off there once.
We recorded in there.
Yeah,
years
and
later.
they had not long after. We probably went there to like
just sit off,
chill out for a bit, which we didn't do often.
No.
Did we? But I'm sure that was the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So like, but we have played on it. It was that's the bleep.
Yeah.
Because I'd still be pissed off. It was fucking my house, like, and especially if people are going, do you remember that party? So people can't track us.
That's blown me head.
I reckon people still think I nicked all that shit.
Well, when we put this one of the episodes on, somebody did messages or comment or something saying, "Ah, was remember that New Year's Eve party when you nicked the PlayStation?" It's like we fucking didn't. By now we'd hold our hands up and we wouldn't. Wow.
Yeah, we did not nick it. I didn't nick it. I got fucking put into a cab. Fucking
We had to put you home.
fucking asleep. I didn't nick it. Someone robbed my fucking soul. And like, don't hear me bitching about it.
That was a mad party. I remember walking in, right, and obviously like we had no ale, and there was like a box, like a cooler box.
Yeah.
Bob just grabbed it and pulled it over to us and opened it. It was full of ale, and he was like, "That's ours." Like,
But this is
right,
the thing,
okay.
innit? Like where the reputation comes in, because it's like walking into that house where, like, they're not all emos, but they certainly weren't like rootsy or whatever.
Yeah,
so do we just look like
Scallies.
rag asses compared to them? And I think that's all it would have been, and especially if you got like Bob was literally a skinhead.
Yeah.
Like at the time, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's bouncing around in shorts, and it's like minus fucking 2, whatever. Yeah. And if he's saying, "I'm taking your ale," to someone who has to like flick the fringe out the face to see who's saying it, it's his ale now. It's his ale.
Oh God Almighty, Rowie! I remember.
But that weren't even the worst thing that happened. I remember going into like the living room and there was spray paint on the wall,
wasn't there?
and then they were trying to drag a radiator off the wall and glue it to the ceiling.
Well, it was one of them houses where they had like the uni certificates on the wall. And I never went to uni, but if I went to uni, I don't think I put it on the wall and all that. But like in the living room, and these kids are just like, because everyone's a kid. Sorry, we're kids, aren't we?
Yeah.
And people, like, someone's worked really hard for that. Just getting ragged off the wall. I know what one is. I know what one looks like. And people are just going fucking ape shit. You were saying here about like the American like party.
It was like that, wasn't it?
I've never seen anything like that.
No.
Before or since.
No.
Because it wasn't like just getting pissed. It was just kids with no responsibility, just doing this. Basically, it ain't my fucking house.
Yeah.
Because how we got wind of it, like with the MySpace and all that, you'd see like reports like back in the day, wouldn't you, like on BBC?
Yeah.
Fucking parents return home.
Yeah. Well, it was just like that. It was just like that.
It was a free for all.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I was half cut or whatever, but there was a lot of people there. It wasn't like, oh, this is John's house or Jenny's house. Hiya Jenny, thanks for like letting us over. It was just fucking a free for all. But we were in the boozer, weren't we?
Yeah.
Beforehand, and it's like, I'm not staying here, lad.
Yeah. It was.
And
Like
where's Mosleo?
But we were spectators to it all. We didn't get involved in any of that like nasty stuff. You know, we didn't wreck anything. We
didn't do any vandalism.
No, God, by you spewing off.
We're making a mess. You're on it.
Because it's
I just remember Bob walking around with this fucking dustbuster he had, and the thing is, which is why I think people messaged us like or messaged me, thinking I'd maybe taken stuff, because he was walking around with this dustbuster and just smacking people in the face with it and going, "Dustbuster!" with a bottle of JD in his hand.
Oh God! Oh, Robert, you were on form that night. I'm not saying this to embarrass you, but was it that party you drank the shit bottle?
The what?
You had the golly bottle.
No, that was in yours.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
That's another story for another time. Then we'll... Didn't Mike from Didn't Mike from Cup? Didn't he try and neck it in the sink?
Probably did.
Oh, chaos! Absolute chaos. Do you remember how it ended then? Because we ended up, we took Robbie home and then we carried on to.
When I was
party.
outside, just getting some fresh air to like chill me out. The busies were like coming down the street.
Was it the police?
Yeah,
was it right?
The busies were coming down the street and like going into, but like kids are just running out with like loads of shit under their arms and like spray painting on walls and all that. So
How did they have spray paint? That's what I couldn't get my head.
Well, they must have like raided the shed, mustn't they?
Oh, yeah,
Just broke into the shop.
poor bastards. Do we know whose house it was then? I know she messaged you, Steve, but do we know?
I haven't got a clue.
I can't remember the name. I just, like I said, I woke up with a trophy and a medal. And then this list of all this stuff that was missing. I was like, oh,
Wow.
mate, that's bad, that. But
She didn't believe you because I remember that hanging around for a long time. The album he stole the police. So yeah, honest, we didn't. Honest.
Yeah, but she was like, Frank, I know it's you. And like,
But how the fuck do people know who the fuck Frank Button is there?
Oh, by that.
No, do you know what I mean? Because like you're going in there, like, and it's not your scene, is it, or anything? And we were pretty mild compared to like the stuff that you witnessed. All this is before midnight as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Because the party we ended up at afterwards,
You're seeing in the new year there,
or not long after,
Yeah.
Jules Holland was still on, type of thing in the background. So yeah, it descended quickly because we got there. There was, was his name Kendall?
yeah.
You went to school. I remember him being there because I remember him saying, "Oh, I love how much you love the Lars," and I remember him pointing to like his hair and his what are those hoop earrings or
Tunnel things, yeah.
Going, "Oh, I know I do all this, but I love the Lars." And we were like, "It's right, all right. You're all right, you." And there were other people there who we half knew, and then mustn't have been long after us. Just this other crowd just descended, and that's when it went from like a lively party to just fucking Armageddon.
Well, like, who do you reckon called the police? Like the kids whose house it was, or was it a neighbour? Like, imagine air call like come to my house.
God,
People are just going ape shit.
Oh, so this new year, I'm going away with my family to an Airbnb in a converted barn in Chester. So things have changed, haven't they? I remember when we were outside looking for a taxi. And because I remember being surprised how dead it was, which again reflects Mossley Hill's a very different area to like Old Swan and Stonycroft and that, because come midnight everyone's on the street and everyone's on the street for hours and there's fireworks going off and everyone's doing Old Lang Syne. And I remember us thinking, it's fucking dead around here, it's not even midnight. And then, do you remember someone opened the window from a different house and she was like, well, oh, fuck off, will you shut up, we're trying to sleep here. I'm like, oh, it's fucking New Year's Eve, what are you on about? Fucking L18.
That's wild, isn't it?
do you want to buy a PlayStation?
That's how we saw out our first year as a band, eh?
That's how you did.
Did we end up on a party in Norris Green after that?
No, it was Crockstuff. It was the original guitarist of the Jimmy Savile Experience, Paul. We ended up in his house, and
right, okay.
we got kicked out of there because
Oh,
Bob.
did we?
I don't know if this makes the episode, Bob. Bob.
Well, anyway, do you know the big hazy? Yeah.
Bob.
Something went on.
It was Paul's dad. It was their family house, and I can't remember how it happened. But Bob bent him over and tried to dry hump him from behind, and his dad didn't see the funny side. And we were in another taxi, then going, "Oh God," with a dustbuster.
Yeah, that's not going in.
So we got removed from 2 parties and New Year's.
With a dustbuster to accompany us on a rugby trophy. Oh man. Oh God. Yeah. Daft lads.
Silly
Happy
billies.
New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone.
So all like whatever music was getting played were in our bag, whatever, because it would have just been like fucking emo or whatever. They didn't have Jules Holland on or not. And it was a kid's house party, but then we were looking through like
I remember
the parents' like music collection, and they had Graceland.
Of course.
I fucking love that album. It's like one of my favourite albums ever. I was like, fucking lash this on. So we like knocked whoever was on the CD on like fucking DJ duties, and we said, lash this on. I don't know. Yeah, we just fucking loved it. But like everyone's just like standing there, just like, what the fuck's all these fucking Afro beats with like Paul Simon twist, and it would have just been like us 4 or 5 just fucking absolutely loving it. It was fucking brilliant. But I love that album for like many other reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love thinking of that as well. It's fucking
Disrupting an emo party to play fucking Boy in the Bubble. That's brilliant, isn't it? So we decamped to...
I always thought Graceland was missing a song about the tension, getting the tension, being a big hit.
I'm going emo.
With the emo.
So we decamped to the box room, didn't we? Essentially,
a box room in Mosley Hill. You can get get a double in that. To be honest.
I don't know if that was the room with the hallowed PlayStation resided. Maybe that's, but we just kind of decamped. It was, and that's where the guitar was. I don't know if it had like all 6 strings or what, but I remember Robbie saying that, like, through like your bleary eyes, it's the best fucking song in the world. Where are they? Shouting people's names. Kendall, get here. Alan, get here. You need to hear this fucking song. Did we get through it?
No.
Did we not?
No, definitely not. But yeah, I don't remember much about the night, but I kind of remember doing that. But whether that's just like a memory that's been planted in my head from like just hearing the story, but. Yeah, I remember it wasn't like my finest. 30 seconds, to be honest. But yeah, I remember trying to do something, and definitely remember spewing up. And just like, just in some poor kid's fucking bedroom. Like, imagine the fucking parents when they came back. Oh, that's the least of the worries. That's what I mean.
I know. Yeah, that on its own is enough to deal with. Sorry, someone spewed in, Dylan's bedroom, but that's. Do you think there's a fucking radiator glued to the ceiling here?
What's that Spinal Tap? You can't dust for vomit. So it was all right.
I can imagine Dylan, the sick all on the floor there. And where are your fucking rugby trophies?
Maybe Bob was doing us a favour, and he was just hoovering up all our fucking crimes. That's it.
No evidence. Is busted. That dust is busted. Christ. Yeah, so that's... By the time this goes out, it will be around New Year, so if that is the case, I hope you have a calmer New Year than we had in 2005.
Yeah, all the best, eh?
Yeah, all the best. And there might be a bit of a gap between this episode and the next for various personal reasons. But
maybe you can try and recreate the party. Don't make a mess in your house.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
But if you're on the Patreon and you got your So Long Too Long, you can do what I was trying to do and see in the new year by playing So Long Too Long.
Yeah.
Just don't disturb the neighbours.
Don't just yeah. And don't nick a PlayStation.
PS5 now.
Yeah.
There's been 3 since.
I'm expecting a message on my Facebook. with the list.
Oh, Christ. So if that is the case, there might be a bit of a gap between future episodes because we've got a few things going on in our personal lives. But if that's the case, Happy New Year on whatnot, and we'll see you in 2024. Cheers.
Ta-da.
Cheers.
So Long Too Long is a podcast written by me, Matty Lackland-Day, also starring Liam Rowlands and Steve Buckley. For more information, search So Long Too Long podcast on all socials or email us at solongtoolongpod@gmail.com. So Long Too Long is part of the Club Shipwreck network. For more information, go to www.patreon.com/Club Shipwrecked. Thanks to John Gibbons and the Anfield Rap for loan of the studio.
I like playing in the dark, man.